And we are back with Free Thoughts, brought to you by, well, we have no sponsors. Please help us.
Come on, Raid Shadow Legends, please sponsor us.
Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends. One Piece Treasure Cruise. Come on, I'm advertising. Might not have been positive, but at least I'm advertising.
Can we at least get a VPN?
Yeah.
Oh.
This video is brought to you by no insert placement.
Dollar Shave Club or Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, anything, guys. We're desperate. Okay, but hello everyone, we're back, and this is our Free Thoughts segment. So actually, I want to put the question to each of you. Is there anything you would like to ask about or to talk about or bring up specifically? Like, and this can be about the series overall at this point. I mean, if you want to ask about like the weird sagas or, you know, anything, go for it.
I don't know, I feel like I get that out of you a little too often for me to ask the correct question. Do the villains ever become any less of a tool? Like, do you ever get a villain who's not an absolute, like, you would punch his face before knowing he did anything wrong?
Yes, we do get some villains who are more...
Okay.
Who are a little bit more like, I wouldn't necessarily murder this person.
I probably could have brought this in this character section, but I really was not a fan of how they handled Captain Kuro. Because, like, they bring him in and, like, it looks like he's going to be a player in this arc.
Yeah.
And then he's the main villain after. It's like, he was harsh, but he's like, maybe he has a bit of a point here in the arc, Tim Warren. He's like, no, he was just, like, a jackass this entire time.
Yeah, so I think the thing with One Piece villains, right, is a couple of the ones from these early arcs are kind of one-dimensional because they're meant to be, like, an introduction point for certain characters or to show off things. But really, once we hit Smoker and T.H.E...
How many episodes is that in?
That'll be in my third submission.
Okay.
So Smoker and T.H.E, this is kind of the ending of the East Blue Saga. And with the two of them, they're not necessarily villains, but they're Marines and they're against Luffy, right? So, like, they're directly against him. And at this point, once we leave East Blue, you kind of have to consider, like, all Marines as a villain because they're going to fight, they're not going to get along, and they're always going to be against them. But also, and I think Realm has seen some of this from watching into the Alabasta arc.
Yeah.
But in Alabasta arc, there are a ton of villains introduced of different, like, levels because they're part of the same kind of thing going on. And it does lead up to some really interesting things. You know, I mean, we meet a lot of people who you wouldn't necessarily, like, be like, wow, you're just a shit person, you know? And I think that happens more and more because the power scaling of the world is such that once you get to the Grand Line, if you're not strong enough, it doesn't matter if you're evil or not. You need to find someone to protect you, and you will do what they say because they're protecting you. So some of the villains...
It's a little bit later into the series, so maybe...
Not that far. I mean, post my third submission, really. I mean, as soon as we leave East Blue, we'll get into...
I mean, like, going into, like, Grand Line stuff.
Yeah, that's right after East Blue, after my third submission.
Oh,
we actually get out of East Blue really fast.
Yeah, I remember this too because when I was watching it, I was surprised after about 60 episodes, we finally left East Blue and went to the Grand Line.
Though, so maybe we should.
Yeah, I'm just saying we do get into a little bit more of a nuanced kind of due to power scaling and stuff like that. Yeah.
The question on Warren's mind is this show ever going to get more nuanced,
complex? And also, I fell asleep while you guys were talking.
My short answer to Born is yes, but I will preface that with the caveat that it takes a while. Arguably, I would say that the first really nuanced arc by name is Enies Lobby.
How many episodes?
Enies Lobby is part of Water 7, which means it's past episode 300.
Only episode. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Only 300 episodes in. And do we actually start getting nuanced characters?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there are a few in Sky Island, but, you know, Sky Island is such a weird arc for me. Water 7 just... Enies Lobby, in particular, has some really great nuanced in characters. And I think that's a point that, for those of you watching and wondering, like, is she going to push them through all of this? I'm not gonna give up that many of my anime submissions to push them through this entire show, but I'm definitely going to get to the end of Alabasta, and I'm considering whether Enies Lobby might be a nice place for me to kind of give up, you know? Because I think it's
going casual if at all.
Yeah, because I think Enies Lobby is a really good kind of point between the One Piece that Eiichiro Oda has admitted was supposed to end at Alabasta and was a lot shorter and he didn't think would be as popular, and the One Piece that has continued from Enies Lobby to Wano, which is more of a unit almost, because it's meant to be part of a unit.
Initially you were trying to find these strategic places you might be able to jump to after 48 episodes. But at a certain point I noticed you realize it's long. There's a lot of parts I don't like, but I wouldn't feel right skipping a lot of this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Nick Nack heard a lot of my my arguments with myself because, like, for example, Sky Island arc is not. I think it might be my least favorite overall arc in the whole series, Thriller arc. And I was like, can I skip Sky Island? But I really think it's part of the experience that you just have to realize it's a really long show, and the author Oda is amazing at slipping foreshadowing and all sorts of things in where you don't expect them. And I think that really comes into play once Alabasta's over, because he planned to end the series there. And so it continuing opened up this whole world for him to like develop the characters even more, add in more foreshadowing, throw hints here, throw hints there, turn this into really like what I would consider like a really truly hard built world. Like the One Piece world, it might have been considered soft world building like Ghibli for a while, but Oda's really taken that and turned it into like a sturdy, hard built world where every single character has a life. And you could ask, what's that girl in that tavern in the town that Zoro came from doing, and he could tell you, right? Like that's how thoroughly he's decided to build the world now that this show is going on. Whereas before he necessarily knew it was going to go so far. He didn't know the exact science behind why devil fruit eaters could like there's one or two things even in the first like 17 episodes that are retconned later on that I won't spoil, but there are very few things retconned after Alabasta, because that's really the turning point of the series. I just personally don't like Sky Island very much, which is why I say Enies Lobby is the first really good part in Water 7. So there are people who adore Sky Island.
We might find Seki dead tomorrow.
Yeah, I might turn up like somebody might pull a Kaido on Eustace Kid on me.
All right. Well,
Realm, did you have any contributions?
No, not really. I mean, I like the show overall, but nothing really major to say.
He's been at least 100 episodes deep before. He doesn't have any questions yet.
Yeah.
I guess do we want to get into our final thoughts here?
Yeah, I think we should. Let's go with me last this time since I started at the beginning. Right. So, Nick Nack?
Sure. Fuck it. By all intents and purposes, I probably should not have liked the series. Like, just with how the story was structured and paced. And the animation was nothing to write home about. The music wasn't too much to write home about. But it's just that feeling of the setting. The setting really makes or breaks this show for me at the moment. Because otherwise, like, Captain Kuro, I did not like at all as a villain. And he takes up the largest chunk out of any other, like, arc in this series up to this point. So, and I didn't particularly find any of the main cast all that spectacular. So, by all means, I probably shouldn't have liked the show, but I did find I kept wanting to go back to it, if nothing else, just to see an anime on the ocean.
Yeah.
So, that's probably why I gave it an approved.
Yeah. Lauren?
I pretty much said my thoughts, but like...
You mean you didn't think it was Fairy Tail?
Luckily not this time.
Throwback to when Vorn thought we were watching that pirate anime when we watched Fairy Tail.
But yeah, this is very simplistic. It's very easy to predict. There's nothing that really drew me in. It's like halfway through like watching it, I ended up doing physics homework. So that tells you something. Yeah, like there really isn't anything for me.
It tells me that Vorn has a really short attention span. And improve that. That's just my opinion. Someone who watches the trends of the other club members and watching anime.
Realm?
Yeah.
You have any final thoughts?
Yeah. Thought it was all right. Honestly, though, like, because I'd already watched this, like, I'm not going to lie, I passed out during a couple of the episodes. So,
I mean,
wow. They're like, we dropped in like enthusiasm here at the last second.
well, okay, but I don't disagree with him. I actually had to watch the first 17 episodes 4 times in Verve, because the first 2 times I zoned out on my phone. It just was listening to like the Japanese audio and not knowing what was happening. And the third time, I just kind of like skipped all of Buggy's episodes for some reason on accident. I think someone else was watching it at the time.
I was.
And I jumped past and it skipped me. So I ended up watching it like a 4th time through, paying attention. And I mean, like I clarified earlier, Syrup Village is not
So
my
are you giving
favorite,
this a
but-
meh out of principle then, or
no.
because I don't think you want to drop your beat.
No, I love this show. Like I do. I love it so much. And I will say, I did actually, when we pulled this out of the hat, I was talking with Nick Dak, and I did actually look up like pirate anime. And this is the pirate anime. Like there are no like ocean pirate animes besides this. There are space pirate animes.
I guess that gets into our newish segment that we brought up last time. What would you recommend to someone who liked One Piece 1 through 17? You're probably the best qualified.
Yeah, if you liked One Piece episode 1 through 17, I'd say actually that I wouldn't recommend Bleach. I would recommend Naruto. It's a somewhat similar kind of tone and pitch. It's a lot about friendship, finding your way, that kind of thing. And I might even recommend the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. I'm not sure I would recommend any shorter shows because this is so one-dimensional right now that there's not a lot of nuance to like what I think you would like if you liked this.
I kind of would recommend Fairy Tail in my end, just from what I've seen here.
It's like a more casual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like One Piece without the excessive blood.
Yeah. I mean, if you want another Pirates anime, Cowboy Bebop is really the only other. I mean, Space Pirates. Yeah. That's the closest you're going to get to pirates in anime.
I don't know. There is the Go-Go anime shit. I'm kidding. We are not sponsored. We do not endorse.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a very simplistic shonen right now, which is fine. So if you like shonen, you know, any of those would be a great complement to this. I couldn't tell you to watch anything based on pirates as a keyword. Okay, you know what? Kudos to Oda. He really cornered the market on actual pirates.
Yeah, I was gonna say that honestly. Like, he like there has not been a single pirate anime attempted because, like you said, he cornered the market on it, and no one's even bothered to try and invade his space because of it.
Well, okay. I mean, there is Magi Sinbad.
True.
But that doesn't come up if you search pirate anime.
Yeah,
like if
you have a spin-off.
Yeah, and it's more sailor than it is pirate.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
It's still that ocean setting though. So I guess it's still if you like the ocean, if you're like me, you're like
ocean.
Ah.
Then Sinbad from Magi, or Grand Blue. Isn't that the one with the boat?
I think that's a very different type, like far different than Sinbad.
It's got ocean. I mean, I'm just saying ocean, But yeah, no, I think Oda really found kind of like an unexploited niche and then exploited it to the point that nothing else could survive. He kind of just, it's like an invasive species on a continent. He came in and he just spread and spread and spread. And now One Piece, it holds the Guinness record for the longest continually published manga series.
And until last year, it was the top-selling Shonen Jump series as a manga.
And it's still overall the top-selling Shonen Jump. It was just that 1 month, right?
That 1 year.
Yeah,
the one year was outsold by Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen again necessarily.
No, Kimetsu no Yaiba's over.
Yeah. So,
better next time, Shonen Jump.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's all I can say.
I can imagine that they desperately tried to convince the author of Demon Slayer to keep it going. Come on, you got a good thing. We made sales. And he's just
I'm sure.
No. What? Oh yeah.
I'm sure. We have an entire video coming out about the state of Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
I
guess the last thing is if you like a shonen, you're generally gonna like more shonen. They have a pretty good framework to work around, so outside of like maybe a few things bugging you, if you like one shonen, you'll probably like a good amount of them.
Yeah.
So just give other shonen a try, really.
Yeah. With that being said, I think it's time to draw for our next
Yes.
week.
Our candidates this week are Random Hat, Vorn, Knick-Knack, and Realm.
I really want Rando.
Yeah, Rando hasn't been done.
I know, he's literally not been pulled yet. I feel so bad for him.
Put your finger above the button and look away as you pull. And we'll all... Who got pulled?
Born.
Oh, I guess we're doing index then.
Hey.
A certain magical index.
Do you have an episode count for us?
Crap.
I believe
It's
there is.
season one.
Check the Google Doc.
I got it.
Hurry up, Seki. I'm kidding.
You do not want to. 1 through 12.
Cool. Episodes 1 through 12. We'll try not to change that mid-episode.
Yep.
If we do, I think by the time this goes up, we have a Twitter, so we'll announce it there.
Yeah.
Changes. In fact, you should do that for One Piece.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
The two episodes, if you can remember that. Because this is going to be a while before this one goes up.
Yeah. But with that being said,
Well, with that being said, yo-ho,
yo-ho, a pirate's life for me. It's not even the same song, Vorn.